Welcome class. Myself Professor D. S. Rai, Professor Department in Civil Engineering, BBD ITM Lucknow. The course today we will take up KCE 076 Urban Transportation Planning. In this course today we will take up lecture 28, in which we will discuss traffic and transportation survey and studies. References that we have taken: Chakravarti Partho and Das Animes, Principal of Transportation Engineering; Pepe Costa and Privedeminas, PD, Transportation Engineering and Planning; Kadiali and Lal, Principle and Practices of Highway Engineering; S.K. Khanna and C.G. Justo, Highway Engineering. Some material have been taken from NAPTEL and some material have been taken from internet. The topic we will cover today is traffic survey, objective of traffic count, traffic volume count survey, intrusive sensors, pedestrian volume study, non-intrusive sensors or non-contact type sensor, types of surveys. Traffic survey. Traffic survey allow for the collection of information and data regarding the use of road, traffic congestion related to roads, other matter related to traffic. Traffic surveying is important and beneficial because it ensures the safety of motorists in general. Survey is also expedient in analyzing the flow of motorists in a certain area during a specific date and time. Traffic survey aim to capture data that accurately reflects the real world traffic situation in the area. It may counting the number of vehicles using a road or a collecting journey time information. Other method of collecting traffic data include human surveyors, video recording devices, magnetic or pi sensor, piezo sensor, radars, image analysis using machine vision devices. Experts utilize profile survey to help determine the intensity of traffic on a roadway and direction of traffic flow. Then what is the objective of traffic count? The objective of traffic counts are to ascertain the necessity of road widening, planning of new road network development, to determine the general need of a structure and functional evaluation, to ascertain the efficiency of the road network by comparing current flow parameter with the level of services, to design signal system, to enable prioritization of maintenance work, to assess the economic benefit arising from the road improvement, to estimate the need of parking facilities, to estimate the possible demand of traffic produced due to planning of a new roads in new town, to assess the impact of traffic due to proposed new establishment or service station, to determine traffic warrant against the traffic count and traffic management techniques such as no entry, one way, etc., etc. To project the future traffic growth for a given periods, to classify road or road network on their functional basis, to relate road accident with the traffic volume and predominant vehicles, to evaluate the performance of the pavement based on traffic volume, to establish the social and economic implication of the design infrastructure facilities, to use way in motion WIM data relating to the total tonnage moved on the road to estimate the freight travelling on each highways. So, these are the objectives. Now, what are the different types of traffic survey? First and the most important is traffic count survey. Sometimes it is called traffic volume count survey. Origin and destination survey, traffic or any travelers start their journey from one point, that is origin, and the end of the journey is a destination survey. Then intersection delay study, because at intersection vehicles have to stop there and wait for signal and then cross it. So, there is a delay in the movement of the traffic. Traffic capacity study, travel time survey, the trip generation data collection, household survey. Now, a speed study. The first is a spot speed study, means instantaneous speed. Then the second is a speed and delay. The next is a parking study, and accident, last is accident study. Now, we can see here, this is the traffic count method, the many methods. First is a manual count and then automatic count. In manual count, then the tally counters are used, paper and pens are required for that. The next is automatic count, that is a type of device used. There are many instruments used for automatic counting, and the first is intrusive method and this is the non-intrusive method. Intrusive method means in the contact of the road. So, these device sensors are placed on top of or in the lane of the traffic being monitored, and there are many types used are pneumatic road tubes, inductive loops, piezoelectric sensor, quartz sensor, fiber opticals, magnetic, most sensor designed. Then the contact closure, WIM scales, bending plates, load cells, capacitance, mats and strips. There are many types of intrusive type of traffic count. The next is non-intrusive type, means they are these device sensors do not interfere the traffic flow during either their installation, their operation, and they are video image detection, CW Doppler sensor, microwave radar, laser radar, passive magnetic, passive acoustic, active and passive infrared, active and passive ultrasound. So, these are the different types of traffic counts. Now, come to the traffic volume count survey. There are two types. One is manual count, record traffic volume by field team on prescribed sheet. Vehicle in which vehicle classification, turning moment could be counted. 24 hours of a day is a mandatory to count. As we know, IRC 9 has made provision of traffic sensors. So, by this method we can use IRC 9 could be implemented by the manual counts. Now, traffic volume count survey, come to the next part, that is the mechanical count. Mechanical counts are of two types. First is fixed type and second is portable type. Fixed type generally used at the toll plaza, near the toll plaza. So, it is not required to move from the toll plaza to another plaza, where the portable type of mechanical counts are used to count the traffic at a different place on the moving state. So, the automatic detector are designed to continuously record the traffic flow by vehicle class for discrete time period like hourly, weekly, monthly, yearly, etc., etc. The detection system comprises traffic flow sensor and a certain type of device or installation that indicates the presence or the passage of the vehicle on a predominant section of the road. The performance of these detectors is affected by the following factors. These are the factors: sensor type, which type of sensor you are using, mounting type and location, sensor viewing angle, maintenance of the sensor system, intended application, that is the parameters to be measured, then the vehicle mix, configuration of a road, traffic congestion. So, these are considered. Now, come to the intrusive sensors. Intrusive sensors are the contact type sensor, and as we see here, that is the pneumatic tube ACT, inductive loops, magnetometer, weigh in motion, load cells WIM, bending plate WIM, piezoelectric WIM. So, these are the intrusive sensor or the contact type as sensor used. Briefly we can see in pneumatic tube, there are two parallel pneumatic pipes are placed and connected each other, and the impulse of the vehicle will count. In inductive loops, there are loops, single loops or multi loops. When the vehicle passes over it, then that could be counted. Way magnetometer means first is a flux gate magnetometer or induction magnetometer. When vehicle or any vehicle crosses this lines, then there will be a variation in induction of the current, and which could be counted. Weigh in motion, there are two methods of weighing. First is a static method, in which vehicle is placed over the weigh machine and it is now measured the quantity, whereas and this will take much more time. So, weigh in motion is the instrument in which the vehicle is not likely to stop there, but that could be measured when it passes through the load cells, in which categorization of vehicles also counted depending on the places of axle. Load cell WIM, as we have discussed in weigh in motion, means here the load cells are connected at the central place where it could be counted. Bending plate is a bending plate by which we can weigh in motion. The piezoelectric means these all are based on the same principle. Now, non-intrusive sensor or non-contact type sensor means there is no contact of the vehicle with the sensor. So, here is the passive sensor and active sensor. Passive sensor, passive acoustic sensor, microwave radar detector and passive infrared detectors. Intrusive sensor includes active sensors, active infrared detectors, ultrasonic detector, video image processed based on detectors, detectors that use a combined technology, means combination of all above we have discussed. Now, come to the pedestrian volume study. The objective of pedestrian volume study are to ensure the mobility and safety of pedestrian, to minimize conflict with the vehicular traffic movement, to enhance enjoyment of walking within the urban locality, to compare the level of pedestrian activities before and after the development, to benchmark of occupancy of pedestrian in public space, to correlate pedestrian traffic pattern with the pedestrian generator, land use, a street parking facility and the transit maps, to compare the resources of passing trains, to determine the hierarchy of a street in an urban locality used for pedestrian movement. We can see here pedestrian volume study, that includes genders, age, shoppers, employees, student, visitors, commuters and mix of all. The pedestrian count is a measure of volume and the direction of pedestrian passing during the time period by location. So, we can see here the pedestrian data collection manually or using sensor including survey. So, that will have two types or you can say three types, the volume counts, then the speed and delay measurement and impedance and walking behavior. What are the problem facing during the walking? In volume counts, there are pedestrian count and vehicular counts both. Now, in speed and delay measurement, the pavement, crossing and other speeds are counted, whereas in pedestrian flow characteristic delay, density and space are measured. Now, come to the impedance and walking behavior, and this is most important for the pedestrian behavior study. Walking behavior with belongings, cell phone etc. And second is the buffer, offset and side distance from the obstacles. So, these are the way by which pedestrian volume counts have been done. We can see here the pedestrian counting method. Of course, first is a manual count and second is a automatic count. In manual count, that is the clicker or the tally counters, means manually it could be done, paper and pens etc. Board mounted electronic counter could be used in the manual counts and video images are also used for the manual counting. When images have been made, then it could be counted. The next is automatic counts, video image detection by the software analysis, passive infrared detector, low powered active infrared, that is laser, that is a light radar. The types of surveys. There are many way by which we can survey the any particular things. First is a home interview survey. What have been done, that is a home interview survey is one of the most reliable type of survey for collection of origin and destination data. The information on the travel pattern includes the number of trips made, their origin and destination, purpose of the trip, travel mode, time of departure from the origin, time of arrival at the destination and so on. The information on household characteristic includes the type of dwelling unit, number of residents, age, gender, race, vehicle ownership, number of driver, family income and so on. So, by home interview method, we can collect all data required and whatever the problem will come, that could be resolved in course of discussion. Then the method of survey, manually counted, recorded with time, automatic counting technique, video camera based count, passive infrared laser detector, active low power infrared detectors. Thank you very much. Thank you.